But this is a really good movie, first and foremost.
It is. I really like. I like how because we've talked about a lot on this theme of kind of like how we're all about like eat the rich and fuck rich people.
Well, I was gonna. I mean, that's your thing. I'm not. I don't like the rich, but I don't get into the whole eat the rich thing. It's a little weird.
No, but
there's also just like this like I don't like billionaires. I just don't care. There's also this like fetishism of like communism and socialism that like I don't really think people understand all the way.
Right.
You know, I'm the biggest Bernie Sanders supporter in the world, but at the same time, like, there's people that throw these tags around. I'm just suspicious of anything that becomes hip. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree, and all right, I say like.
Well, no, hold on. I agree with you in the sense that I think it's interesting that this movie was around so long that it was optioned in 2008, 9, or 10 because honestly, it fits right the fuck in with a lot of shit that's come out. A la Sorry to Bother You.
Yes, or Parasite.
Exactly. It's very
And that's what I was kind of saying of like, I kind of feel like maybe the reason where maybe like a filmmaker from India would be more ahead of the curve of it was kind of because of this globalization that was happening in India during that time. Because you had all these foreign companies coming in, that maybe he came up with this theme basically before it became popular in America.
Well, I mean, just as far as when it came out and stuff, you have to wonder, like, those decisions that get made that says, okay, well, there is now a path for this movie because we've seen these types of films be popular.
Exactly.
It's got even like some revenge porn in it a little bit.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And even like these modern techniques, like at the end where he breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
That didn't used to happen back in the day. Like,
I don't know if it didn't used to happen.
I'm sure it did, but like in a major movie like that.
Yeah. I say there's more old school film techniques, maybe at least like story wise. For one thing, there's a lot of narration in this movie, which is something you don't really see too much anymore. A lot of modern movies have kind of moved away from narration, and this movie uses narration a lot. It uses that plot device of basically like, this is an older Bahrani who's writing an email, and like this is the story he's telling.
That was cool. There was a lot of interesting things that they did technique-wise, like how they have him writing the email and then they show him meeting with the Chinese president at the end, and the Chinese president looks at him like he's a crazy person.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Another thing was interesting was it kept kind of playing with reality, where you're like, he's like, I wonder what they're doing to my family, and it shows them literally like his grandmother being stabbed.
Yeah.
That obviously didn't happen. Then there's the moment where he like tells Ashok that he's thinking about killing him.
Yeah.
And at first you're like, did he just fucking say that?
Yeah.
But then obviously he must have said something else.
Yeah, there's a lot of blurring, like...
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of blurring because, one, this is a story he's telling, and you get that image of how much of this actually not so much how much of this actually happening, but, like, is what I'm seeing on screen literally what happened?
And sometimes it's really over the top and you can tell it's not, and then other times, like, that scene where they pull up to the hotel and Ashok has the bag of money and he's like, oh, I was thinking about bashing your skull in and taking your money.
Yeah.
Like, the way that they shot that is so not over the top, like
right.
that you're like,
exactly.
What the fuck did he just say?
Exactly.
But then it's, and I like too that they don't really explain what he actually said.
Yeah.
But you know that it was something else.
Yeah.
Like that type of, those techniques were really interesting.